Let's say China.
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 There are next door neighbors, and you can actually see Russia from land here in Alaska.
You go over to China.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Trump statement, tweeting out insults to Angela Merkel. What's he doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host.
Yes, hello. Welcome. I am James Andrews, and you are listening to So This Happened, the only news you need if you are stuck inside an ATM machine. It's Thursday, the 13th of July, 2017, and you might be wondering why this is the only news a man stuck inside an ATM machine may need. Well, that actually happened today. No shit. A man in Texas was trapped inside an ATM machine. This is spectacular. He was rescued by slipping a note out of said machine. The note said, "Please help. I'm stuck in here and I don't have my phone. Please call my boss at..." And then he left his boss's phone number and name, which I will not read out because I'm pretty sure his boss doesn't need a million phone calls saying, "Help, I'm stuck in a cash machine. Help, I'm stuck in a cash machine. Help, I'm stuck in a cash machine. Help, I'm stuck in a cash machine. Oh, I'm in a cash machine. Help me out. I'm stuck in a cash machine. I am stuck in a cash machine. Hey, let me out of here. I'm stuck in a bloody cash machine." Actually, on second thoughts, that would be quite funny, but I'm not going to give his name or phone number out anyway. Anyway, the gentleman who was stuck in the cash machine was working on a renovation in the bank when he became somehow encased within the cash machine. He was rescued by the police after about 2 hours, who initially, and understandably, thought this was probably a hoax. My question is, how much money did he get away with? Because, seriously, if you are a criminal and you want to break into a cash machine, this might be the greatest way to do it. Get stuck in a cash machine, put all the money in your pockets, and then slip a note through. "Help, I'm stuck in here. Someone get me out. Call the police. Help me." The police will let you out, and then they'll go, "Oh my God, are you okay, sir?" "Yes, I'm fine. I'm just going to go home and sleep. It was quite traumatic." And off you wander with your pockets literally full of fresh, crisp money from the cash machine. Awesome idea, actually. Why the hell am I sat here talking to you every single day? I could be hiding myself in cash machines, stealing all the money and slipping notes out. "Help, I somehow got stuck in here." Oh, what am I doing with my life? What am I doing? And if you've ever lived or been to London, you'll be familiar with this sound.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Due to a reported emergency, would all passengers leave the station immediately? Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Due to a reported emergency, would all passengers...
Okay, so you've all heard that. The ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oxford Circus, or wherever you are. Well, as of today, TfL, which is Transport for London, has announced that they will no longer be saying ladies and gentlemen in an effort to make everyone feel welcome, no matter what they identify as. Now, they will simply be saying, "Hello, everyone." So, this is how it's going to sound. Hello, everyone.
Your attention, please. Due
Good,
to
right?
a reported emergency, would all passengers leave the station immediately?
Hello, everyone.
Your attention, please. Due to a reported emergency, would all passengers leave the station immediately?
Hello. Oh, fuck.
Ladies
Hello,
and
everyone.
gentlemen, your attention, please.
Got it. Bingo. And I'm all one for including everybody, but it's just not going to sound the same, is it? It's sort of very familiar, the "hello, everyone." I mean, you can be sitting there on your way and the announcement's going to come on. "Hello, everyone. Unfortunately, a passenger has fallen on the line at Oxford Circus. This train will be delayed." "Hello, everyone. This train will be delayed 15 minutes. "Hello, everyone. It's not going to sound the same. It's too friendly. And usually when you hear that announcement, it's not a friendly announcement. It's not something you want to hear. You don't, it's not sort of like, oh, right, nice one. The sort of, ladies and gentlemen, it's much more authoritative. It's a bit more, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to tell you some very, very unfortunate news. This train will be delayed 15 minutes. More like, hello everyone, I'm afraid this train is going to be about 15 minutes late or so. I know it's a bastard, I've got to get home too, but what can you do? And we'll stay in Europe for a minute because President Donald Trump is in France today for Bastille Day, which is sort of the 4th of July for France. Okay, just go with that. If you're interested, you can Google it, find out what it really is, but we'll just go with it. It's the 4th of July for France. So when Donald Trump and Melania arrived today, there was a big pomp and circumstance. They met Macron and his wife, his teacher. Is it his wife or his teacher? How would you say? I suppose now you'd just say it's his wife. 10 years ago, his teacher, but now it's just his wife. It's confusing. This is my wife who was my teacher. Or he probably doesn't even say that, doesn't he? He probably doesn't go, this is my wife who also was my teacher at one point. Because that would get awkward. This is my wife. She's as beautiful now as the day I first saw her, when I was sitting behind the desk with my pen in my hand, learning about geography. Well, anyway, enough of that. There was a big show and everyone was smiling, forced perhaps, but they were smiling nonetheless. But not everyone in France is quite as excited about Donald Trump being there. Here's what some Parisians actually said about it.
The visit of Donald Trump in Paris, do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea?
No, I think he gives too much bad vibes to everyone, and he don't like everyone who's different of him.
Okay, I think it's a good thing because it's important to have different opinions in the world and to confront opinions.
I don't know if I'm sure that I like the symbol of him being here for our National Day, because I don't agree with him on everything.
I'm not a particular fan of Donald Trump, but I guess the American people have elected Donald Trump.
I think it's possible to contain him, to work with him for important issues.
If we can find an arrangement about the climate, it's a good news.
So there we are. Some people very pessimistic about it, some people cautiously optimistic about it. And Donald Trump did say today, actually, on the climate or the climate change, that perhaps something would come about it in a few weeks, in typical Donald Trump fashion, where he doesn't actually just fucking say what he's thinking. He says, tune in next week on The Trump Show to find out whether or not I go back into the Paris climate deal or not. And he's clearly not. He's just saying that because Macron's sitting next to him. He doesn't want to look like a dickhead. Donald Trump did have some things to say in Paris today, though. We'll have a quick listen in on that as well.
As far as my son is concerned, my son is a wonderful young man. He took a meeting with a Russian lawyer, not a government lawyer, but a Russian lawyer. It was a short meeting. It was a meeting that went very, very quickly, very fast. Two other people in the room, I guess one of them left almost immediately, and the other one was not really focused on the meeting. I do think this. I think from a practical standpoint, most people would have taken that meeting. It's called opposition research, or even research into your opponent. I've had many people, I have only been in politics for 2 years, but I've had many people call up, oh, gee, we have information on this factor or this person or, frankly, Hillary. That's very standard in politics. Politics is not the nicest business in the world, but it's very standard where they have information and you take the information. In the case of Don, he listened. I guess they talked about, as I see it, they talked about adoption and some things. Adoption wasn't even a part of the campaign. But nothing happened from the meeting. Zero happened from the meeting. And honestly, I think the press made a very big deal over something that really a lot of people would do. Now, the lawyer that went to the meeting, I see that she was in the halls of Congress also. Somebody said that her visa or her passport to come into the country was approved by Attorney General Lynch. Now, maybe that's wrong. I just heard that a little while ago, but it's a little surprised to hear that. So she was here because of Lynch. So, again, I have a son who's a great young man. He's a fine person. He took a meeting with a lawyer from Russia. It lasted for a very short period, and nothing came of the meeting. And I think it's a meeting that most people in politics probably would have taken. Mr. President?
Mr. President? Why, Mr. Trump, thank you very much for calling me Mr. President. Now, that was roughly 2 minutes, and quite frankly, he could have said everything he wanted to in 10 seconds, and he did, and then he just kept repeating himself. So what we got out of that is Don's a great man. The meeting was short. It was very quick. It was short. It wasn't long. They weren't in there long. It was quick. He did confirm that Jared left early, and then he also confirmed that Paul Manafort is a really rude bastard. Because you'll remember yesterday he was just on his phone playing Angry Birds trying to get that pig out of the house, and he couldn't do it. So that apparently happened as well. But my favourite part of that entire statement there was when he went on at the end to say, but you know what, it's Barack Obama's fault, yeah? Because his Attorney General, Lynch, she let this Russian in to the country. So even though my son, who's a wonderful young man, took the meeting with the Russian, it wasn't his fault. It was Barack Obama's fault for letting her in the country in the first place. If that hadn't happened, then my son wouldn't have been able to meet with her, would he? So Barack Obama is to blame for this entire thing. Mr. President. And while we're on the theme of shit Barack Obama has done since he left office, let's look at the Republican healthcare bill, which today the Senate released their new version of the healthcare bill that they're going to hope to pass, in which they'll repeal and replace Obamacare. Well, already this revised bill has met significant Democrat resistance, but also it's met quite a lot of Republican resistance, and not because it doesn't go too far in not repealing Obamacare, but because it's got a few things in this new bill which are making more moderate Republicans a little bit nervous. And one of the most significant is the inclusion of an amendment by Senator Ted Cruz. So already, I don't even have to tell you about it because you know it's going to be fucking bad if that man suggested this. But what it allows people to do is it allows insurers offering Obamacare plans to also offer cheaper bare-bone policies. So somebody who's, 21, 22, who doesn't think they're going to get sick can say, yeah, I'll just take the shitty insurance right there. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Which sounds great on the surface, but if you actually look at what that does, it increases the premiums for every other person who doesn't choose the bare-bones insurance. Because remember, these companies have to get their money from somewhere. And if they're offering cheap, bare-bones shitty plans, somebody who's on a full insurance plan is going to have to pay more for it. That's just simple mathematics. That's how this thing works. Now, this new plan does actually retain a few Obamacare policies, and the first one on that is the taxes, 2 taxes in fact, on people earning more than $200,000 a year, and they essentially are helping pay for Obamacare. Which is funny because most people who are saying, I hate Obamacare, I don't want to pay for people who are sick, it's not fair. Well, unless you're making over $200,000 a year, you're actually not. And 99% of the people who are bitching about Obamacare don't make $200,000 a year. That's just a fact. So they're not actually paying for Obamacare at all. They just don't like the name of it, or I don't know. I don't know what they want. But the plan does still keep the Medicaid cuts that the original one had, so a lot of poor and disabled people are going to be shit out of luck on this one as well. And it does actually include an extra $45 billion to tackle the US opioid epidemic, which is actually really good. I mean, nobody's going to have a problem with that at all. And then it also includes an additional $70 billion to help cover the so-called out-of-pocket expenses. These are essentially medical fees that have not been reimbursed by insurers. So people who just go to the ER who don't have insurance, a hospital takes care of them, fixes their broken arm, whatever it is, they don't get paid for that. So this $70 billion is going to help cover that. My big question on this, and we'll have to see where this goes, is where the hell is all this money coming from? Because this is just all extra money now. $45 billion to tackle opioid addiction, $70 billion to cover out-of-pocket expenses. Is this money just coming from the sky? Where is this coming from? It's coming from somewhere, and the big question is, where is that coming from? Because there are programs out there and they may have nothing to do with healthcare whatsoever. But they're going to lose $45 billion here and another program, $70 billion. So where is this money coming from? And I think that is my big question about this new bill. And like I said, it just came out today, so we haven't really had time to go through it. But I'm sure in the coming days we will examine this further. And it looks like, unfortunately, people, we are out of time. So thank you so much for listening. You can always follow me on Twitter. My handle is SoThisHappen, which is awful. I know. Awful, but there it is. And if you like the podcast, please subscribe and like and recommend it to a friend. And, well, I'll chat with you tomorrow. Have a great evening. Goodbye. Au revoir.